Wow, I can't believe it's totally not been 3 years since my last video. Ignore the timestamp, ignore the timestamp. So I guess we gotta talk about this new Olivia Rodrigo album. Wait a minute. That's not Olivia Rodrigo. That is Wise Bloods and In the Darkness Hearts Aglow. Let's change that. I don't know how this looks in post. I hope it looks good. Singer-songwriter, pop sensation Olivia Rodrigo is back at it again with her third studio album, and the third in 5 years' time. She's actually been cranking these out pretty consistently. Her first album that she dropped is called Sour, and I really enjoyed that. It showed a lot of potential, but I really got into her through Guts, which just had this teenage angsty energy that I could not get enough of. I love Ballad of a Homeschool Girl. I love All American Bitch. I love a lot of the songs on the album. It's very, 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 very good. But this album showed a bit of a sonic departure from like her previous stuff, leaning away from pop punk and going more towards a new wave and post-punk revival type of sound. For example, the lead single of this album, Drop Dead, has a lot of like really sharp synth arpeggios and notes, and then that chorus is just so catchy. It reminds me of like an early 90s Cure song, like Friday I'm in Love / Just Like Heaven type of vibe. And that won't be the only time you'll hear those influences, because they are all over this album. And speaking of more influences regarding The Cure, let's talk about the second single, The Cure. Granted, this one is not as synthy as the last one, because this one is more of a rock ballad akin to Disarm by Smashing Pumpkins. The build of this song is genuinely magnificent and is something to behold, and I feel like Billie Eilish with Happier Than Ever was someone that really like catapulted the idea of having these grand crescendos within their pop songs, because man, if it wasn't for that song, I feel like a lot of songs like this would not be here today. And to be frank, we got to thank Billy, because The Cure is maybe one of the best songs of this year currently. Absolutely magnificent. It's mainly talking about Olivia's frustrations with this guy and her own anxiety, being like, I know he won't be the cure for me, and she's kind of realizing this like bit of codependency between them, and is kind of coming to grips with that, realizing that it's not maybe her, it's maybe just the whole situation itself. I'm so absolutely fond of the lyrics of this song and how blunt she is just throughout this entire album. It feels like a 90s alt rock, it's like acoustic rock song written by Fiona Apple, and that's the best freaking comparison I can ever give an album. Third single off this album, and the final one before the album came out, was Stupid Song. I love the vocal ascension in the chorus, and just the new wave influences throughout the song was absolutely amazing and eclectic. I also was getting a big Taylor Swift vibe during the bridge with how she would enunciate certain things, which people talked about with Drop Dead being like kind of like a Taylor Swift worship sort of thing, and I could see it, but I think she does her own little thing with it and matures on that songwriting type a lot. That was very stream of conscious, I know, but those were the three singles off of the album, and did it lead to a good album to come out? Oh boy, yes it did. The entire album is legitimately stunning. It's a perfect amalgamation of like pop rock and new wave, and just feels so nostalgic yet so fresh and inventive. Olivia is one of my favorite songwriters of the current era, because she really does know how to write a great hook and make it feel timeless in its own regard. Her lyricism was also just so biting, and that was like one of the big things I noticed with like Bad Idea Right off of her second album, excuse me. That song is just so fun and playful, showing how like, yes, she is still a teenager at heart, but it's like, man, this guy is so freaking hot. It's crazy. Just the fun like way that she constructed that song, I feel like it just gets better over time. And with this album, you have many moments like that where she just dives into like the love sickness that she is going through. Because this album is split up into two parts. It's kind of like a Mr. Morale and Big Steppers thing. The first half is about like her being in love, and the second half is about her being so sad, hence the album title. Honeybee, for example, is the third song on the album, and it is just absolutely stunning. It is a ballad towards her lover that she's, oh god, can't you tell I'm allergic to pollen when I'm talking about honeybees? Her describing this lover as a honeybee, like a cute little nickname. It's just so sweet and so cutesy, and just saying here's to hoping that this whole thing will turn out okay. I love that stuff so much. It's very cute, very sweet, very whimsical, and also just the piano sound of this song is very well performed, very just the spaciness is really what drives this song up for me a lot. It feels super chamber pop inspired, very folklore in a way. And for people that don't know, your girl really likes folklore. Then you have Maggots for Brains, talking about this sort of codependency starting to leak in within this relationship, feeling like that she is not really someone that's alive unless she is with her partner, being like a zombie with maggots for brains. It's kind of like the first hint that something is not right with the relationship, meaning that like she doesn't feel truly like herself unless she is with her partner. and kind of like highlights the general theme of codependency throughout the entire album. The next song follows like similar motifs, more about her like, you know, being really in love with this guy. You plus me equals heart, by the way. Also, the irony with the song being you plus me equals heart forever, you know, how this person is now not in her life anymore. It's a bit shocking and a bit like, oh, we know what's about to happen. It's like a Hitchcockian jump scare, like you know it's gonna happen, but you just don't know how. I do also think it's very interesting how she like disregards like the notions of like modern dating as a whole, being like, fuck it, whatever, let's just see what happens. This is a little codependent, but I'm feeling so much for this man. I want to see where this goes. And then that leads next into My Way, where she starts showing feelings of jealousy about a girl trying to intermingle herself into her boyfriend's life and trying to be like hitting on him and stuff. I love the way that she delivers "You're so fucking weird." I love that so much. It is just so fun. I love just the blunt writing that she has throughout the entire album. Very much so gives like a Misery Business type of vibe with how she delivers the lyrics and what the song is about. It's a very, very good way to break it up. And it's a more rockin' tune, very post-punky, very synthy, just very like fun and energetic, very Cure sounding. Not like The Cure, her song, but the band. Then things start to kind of shift into a negative direction with Purple, which was the last song off of the Girl Is in Love part of the album, where it shows like her codependency is starting to come to play to where she only sees purple because he's red and she's blue, and all she sees is pretty much everything together. Like she's kind of boxed in a way. And at the end of the song, she now starts to realize that she's gonna melt with this person until it all goes black, which is such a phenomenal line because of the way she messes with color theory in the lyrics. I think it's one of my favorite lines on the entire album. The instrumental is also just so good with the way it sets up the atmosphere. I love the bass kick in towards like the middle of the song and how it just progresses. Seriously, one of my favorites off the album. And then the second half of the album opens with The Cure, which we already talked about, and then Begged, which is freaking sad. Just this insane anxiousness and this craving for her partner's attention just because they're not showing the effort that they should be in this relationship is just kind of sad to see. And this beautiful chamber pop soundscape that encapsulates the entire song, just absolutely gorgeous. She also blames herself for a lot of the anxiety and the feelings and maybe why he's not reciprocating the love, yet it's something that she needs and is something that's very important with her relationship, and kind of highlights more of that codependency sort of like thematic element to this relationship that is quite kind of, it's like a concept album in a way. It feels like she starts off super infatuated with this guy, and over time she realizes how codependent it is, and to where like she feels like she needs him and blames herself for having these sort of anxiety feelings until it just kind of compounds with her realizing that it's not her, it's him with the song What's Wrong With Me. What's Wrong With Me is a spellbinding duet with the one and only Robert Smith of The Cure. God, I freaking love The Cure. He sounds fantastic on this song, by the way. The main thing is just kind of her realizing, oh, these anxious feelings and everything are not just me. I've gone to the doctors. They say I'm fine. It's you that's the problem. You're the problem that I'm having. Infinitely catchy song, and the vocal meshings between Robert Smith and Olivia are just to die for. Fantastic performances all around. I also absolutely loved the Primavera Sound performance that they did that like leaked before this album came out. Just, man, it's so cool to see The Cure and Robert Smith getting the attention he deserves, because you can tell that Olivia is just a giant fan of all types of things within the post-punk and new wave scene, especially The Cure. And then the final three tracks are very interesting because it starts off with Less, which is a gorgeous like piano song that is just pretty devastating and shows like a relationship kind of falling apart due to a lack of communication, where the partner is letting her go because he quote unquote loves her a lot and doesn't want to hurt her anymore, yet she clings on to this for like one final time, being like, I wish you loved me less so you could hold on to me. Very beautiful, slightly just tragic way to end like a song. It's very devastating. It's like she's just one last time trying to cling on to what she had beforehand because of how how good the high times were in that relationship. What a stunning song. And then my only, I guess, issue with the album is that it goes next into Expectations, which is a very upbeat, fun, silly 80s song talking about, I will not date a bum-ass guy. I need a guy with a real job. I need a guy that I just actually, it makes sense for me. Like, I am better than everyone else. I am that girl, which granted is a nice sentiment. Like prioritizing yourself and being independent is an awesome thing, especially when you're getting out of a sort of like situation like that. But the vibe of the song just feels so out of place, even if the lyrics do match up with the general theme of the album. It's just kind of a little out of place, especially when you bookend it with songs like Less and then afterward Cigarette Smoke, which is downright the most depressing thing she's ever written. So while I do really like Expectations as a song, and I absolutely love that vocoder bridge that goes on in the song, I do think it's a bit out of place and just a bit wonky in the track listing. And finally, Cigarette Smoke is the last track on the album, and it's pretty much just the epilogue for everything. It wraps up everything in a nice, neat bow, conceptually, lyrically, and musically, actually. Multiple callbacks on the song, like her begging her honeybee, her, like, the 5 beers in the fridge that he couldn't finish. It's insane. The song progression as well is so slow. It starts off just so dreamy and then just builds up into this cacophonous and just larger than life build until it, like, ends with her fading out, just wanting this just to end. It's just It also helps that this song is like 5.5 minutes, which is quite a long song to be on a pop album specifically, and it builds up so magnificently. It just it's so good. The way that she uses the metaphor of cigarette smoke to represent her lover and how she can't quite get rid of her because she just can't forget, like the smell that is so vivid because it just lingers with her. What a beautiful, like, metaphor for lost love. And then just like that, the song just fades out and out until the album ends. It's kind of a depressing way to end an album, in my opinion, being like, I'm just still not over this guy, and doesn't put her in like the biggest high place. Like, you'd think Expectations would be like the song topic at least to end the album on, but no, it's this. And I really, really, really enjoy this album from her. I think it is my favorite album that she's done. The flow of the album is unparalleled. I think every song is important to the album's narrative, even Expectations, which I'm just not really fond of its placement. I think this is actually like a genuine artistic statement on her part, diving into the feelings of love and codependency, and then like the recoil and sort of like need for it. It's kind of a really interesting exploration into Gen Z dating and the dating scene in general. So yeah, I loved this new Olivia Rodrigo album. I think it is genuinely one of the best pop albums that came out this decade, and I'm not even trying to front with you. He is genuinely becoming one of my favorite pop songwriters to have done it with guts, and now You Seem So Sad for a Girl So in Love. So I'm not going to give it a number score because I feel like boiling down an album into a number is a little silly at this point. But all I can really say is that if you are a fan of Olivia Rodrigo or just general good piano rock and pop, like rock music, check this out. You will not be missing out. It's such a good time. Well, I guess good time's a bit of a stretch, but it's a very, very, very good album. I recommend it entirely. I'm going to be editing this video, and I hope it's not too much of a yap fest. If it is, then I guess I'll figure out ways to mitigate that. But yeah, hi. I made a YouTube video for once. Isn't that weird? Since the last time I made a YouTube video, I was in my teens. I now have a bachelor's degree. What the fuck is happening now? So if there's anything you would like me to talk about for my next video, whether that be an album, a book, a movie, whatever, I may actually talk about Backrooms and Obsession next because I think those movies deserve a bit of a conversation because of how much they're blowing up at the box office. If you have any interest in that, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, for right now, I am back. I want to talk about media. I want to just get back into the swing of things with this. I want this to be a hobby again. I want to have fun with it. And yeah, if there's anything you want me to talk about, please leave it in the comments below. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and please do not dislike because, again, very lonely. Why do you think I have Wiseblood with me? So yeah, thank you all for watching. Take care.